Today we'll start off with two-step equations, and some of them will possibly even go to three-step equations. So let's jump straight into the examples. Same process as last lesson. You're doing the opposite to move your numbers away from your pronumeral. So in the first question, I have 2y plus 3 equals 14. So remember the layers, the 2y are together, and the plus 3 has been added on the end. So working from the outside layer, I would need to do the opposite, which is subtract 3 from both sides. Cancels that layer off. Always show your cancelling, and then we write down what's left. I have 2y still on the left-hand side. 14 take away 3 is 11. Then to get the y by itself, I still have the 2 there. It is times. Opposite is to divide by 2. Cross the 2's off. Y is by itself. 11 divided by 2 doesn't go nicely, but it is 5.5. Okay, that is finished. Part B. Again, the 5x are together and the minus 2 is the outer layer. So the opposite of minus 2 is plus 2. Make sure that you're setting these out just like mine, showing all the working out. You don't need to do the circles if you don't need to, but the other parts you need to show. 5x is by itself. 9 plus 2 is 11. Then to get rid of the 5, they're next to each other, they're timesed. The opposite is to divide by 5. Cross off the 5's. X is by itself. 11 over 5. Again, doesn't simplify nicely, but it goes twice and 1/5. You can use your calculator to do that part. Everyone knows how to do that? To do the mixed numeral on the calculator? Give it a try. So if you have 11 over 5 in your calculator, you press Shift SD and it will change it into the mixed numeral for you. Part C. Shift SD, did it work? Yep. You have to press equals first, but you have to have the improper fraction in the calculator. So press equals and then Shift SD. Part C. We have t over 5 minus 3. Okay, the minus 3 is on the outside there. So the opposite is to plus 3. Cancel it off. Cross off those 3's on the left. T over 5 is left, and 7 plus 3 makes 10. Now for the second step, the 5 is on the bottom of the fraction. That means it's been divided. The opposite is going to be to times by 5. Cancel the 5's off. T is finally by itself. 10 times 5 is 50. Next one, D. The trick is, which one do I do first? The 6 is going to be correct. The 5 and M are together on the top. The 6 is going to be the second layer down. So the opposite of dividing by 6 is to times by 6. Cancel that off. 5m equals 10 times 6 is 60. Second step, the 5 is times with the m, so the opposite is to divide by 5. Cross off the 5's. M is by itself. 60 divided by 5 is 12. All right, I'll get you to try E. Everybody have a go of E. See if you can do it without my help. That's a good shot. but you've lost the front cover, but yeah.
Okay.
How'd we go?
I got it.
Everyone get it?
21.
Yeah? Most people? All right, let's do F. I'll do this one with you because there's a minus sign in this one. First step is going to be to times by the 9. So 9 times 12 is 108. So we have minus 2D equals 108. Now, common mistake is when as soon as people see a minus sign, they think, oh, I've got to add something. But when the minus 2 is next to a D, they are times together. And the opposite is going to be to divide by negative 2. You can divide by negative numbers. Okay? So 108 divided by negative 2 makes negative 54. G. A minus 2 over 3 equals 4. The A minus 2 are together on the top of the fraction. So they're going to be stuck together in the first layer. The 3 is in the second layer out. So the opposite is going to be to times by 3. I will have A take away 2 still on the left-hand side. And 4 times 3 is 12. Now for the second step, the minus 2, it's just a normal minus 2. It's not next to the letter. So the opposite is to plus 2. A equals 12 plus 2 is 14. Have a go of H. It's almost very, very similar. Remember that it is not enough just to get the right answer. You must also have the right working. Mia? You've got the funny setting again? Yeah. You like that, don't you? I don't know what you do to your calculator. Shift 9. 9, 3. All right, did everybody get W equals minus 2?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. Good. All right, next page. These ones here are actually 3-step equations. All right, so the 3 layers, if you're going to draw them, you have to try to keep this tidy. The 2x is the first inside layer. They are together. You always start with your x in the center. It's wherever the x is. The negative 1 has then been added to, or put with that. We've got minus 1 on that. And finally, the 3 is the last thing that's been done to that equation. So opposite, we do the opposite. Yes, outside layer, we got to get rid of the 3, so I times by 3. Cancel those off. That gives me 2x take away 1 equals 7 times 3 is 21. So remember that the 1 was the next layer that I have to deal with. The opposite is going to be to plus 1. So that gives me 2x equals 21 plus 1 is 22. And then the last layer, the third step, I want to divide by 2 to get rid of that 2, cross it off. X equals 22 divided by 2, which is 11. Okay, so 3 steps showing all that working out. Have a go of J. Different numbers, but it's the same 3 steps. Just didn't come out quite so nice as an answer. Did everyone get that? 1 3/5?
Yes.
Great job. All right, so just by putting the fraction lines in different places, it changes the order that we have to do things. So in M, the 2x, start with your x, there's your center. Then that's been divided by 3. Yeah, what's that side? How do you put this into a calculator? The 8 over 5? No, you can't put the whole equation in. The only thing you can put in is that 8 over 5 at the end. So I've got 8 over 5, and I press equals. And all I can do is press Shift SD to make it change it into a mixed numeral for me. You can get your calculator to times things for you, but these calculators will not solve the whole equation for you.
But you'll get the answer.
You'll get, like, it'll do the answers along the way, but you've got to know what's still left and what's the next step to do. All right, so continuing with M. My outer layer was the 7. Is the 7 positive or negative?
Positive.
It is positive. That minus sign actually belongs to the fraction after it. So the 7 actually has to be subtracted. So subtract the 7, and I have minus 2x over 3 equals 5 take away 7 is negative 2. Next step is going to be the 3 on the bottom. It's divided, so the opposite is to times by 3. Cross off those 3's. I have minus 2x, and minus 2 times 3 is minus 6. How am I going to get rid of the minus 2? No, both wrong. Divide. So it is currently times with that x, because it's next to it, so I divide by negative 2. Cross those off. Minus 6 divided by minus 2 is a positive 3. N. Is this our last one, or is there more on the next page? It is the last one. All right, so N, I'll do the last one with you. The 4x is the center. That's our last layer. We've got the 3 added to that, and the 5 is in the outside layer. So the 5, because it's on the bottom of a fraction, we have to times by 5. Cross it off. I have 4x plus 3. 5 times 12 is 60. Next thing to do is to move that 3. So I'm going to subtract the 3. 4x equals 57. Last thing, I divide by that 4. This is not going to go nicely. So you're going to get your calculator out, and you're going to go 57 on the top and 4 on the bottom. Press the equal sign. And when you press Shift SD, it tells you that's 14 1/4. Okay, so that is solving equations with fractions. So here is your work on page 9. Starting with some 1 steps and getting harder.
Okay.